Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Slow Smoke Pigskin podcast. We're continuing our Meet a Manager series. A couple things to talk about real quick before that. In league news, we had our first trade of this year, and of course it included me because I'm the one who pushes all the damn trades. So I sent away Devonta Smith after Drew gave him to me last year. David Njoku, I can never remember how to pronounce his name. And
Njoku?
And Mr. Nicholas Chubb. And I received back Breece Hall and this year's 301 pick. So let me hear you both complain about how this deal should have never happened.
Go ahead, Neil.
I mean, I don't know. That's an interesting trade. I hadn't seen that one yet, so I hadn't really had a chance to process it too much.
I processed it. He asked me about it, and the trade, when you go with the numbers, the trade is even.
It's a fair trade.
It's a fair trade. When you're talking about dynasty and building a dynasty team, I would not personally have made the trade. Nick Chubb, I don't know if he's not gonna be the same player that he was coming off his second reconstructive he's got a bionic knee at this point. Njoku, I think that he's on the older side. He's not, if he wants to win now and he's going for that, then that's a great trade and that's fine. But as far as longevity, like you had Ferguson also on the trading block, if you put Ferguson instead of Njoku, I would have been like, oh, that's it. I get the trade.
Really? I would have thought Njoku's ranked higher than...
He may be, but I'm talking like you're going to think that Ferguson is going to have a couple more years than Njoku.
All right, fair enough.
That's my thought process.
So, just so you know, like he looked like he had a need at wide receiver. He definitely had a need at tight end, and he was already pretty strong at running back and could wait for Nick Chubb and have Nick Chubb at the back end. I was looking to get rid of I wanted a top running back because I have a bunch of middle guys. So I worked out what I thought was a fair deal.
Listen,
I can see it. You got to weigh needs, right, with all this kind of stuff too. So it's not, the paper might say one thing or the other, but if you're like, you don't have any wide receivers, well, then you're probably going to have to overpay for some or something like that. So I think you got to weigh some of that too. Yeah, makes sense.
100% agree with that, Neil. This is not by any means is this like a terrible trade.
No, yeah.
It's not like you're selling the house to, it's nothing like that. Like, and if both managers agree, then it is what it is. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. It's not like you're giving away Devonta Smith for a fourth round. Like you know what I mean? Like, it's not something where collusion is involved or something like that. But this is definitely like I have personally in my aspect of it, I would have wanted a little bit more of longevity for it. That's all.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to NFL news. A couple more mediocre wide receiver signings. The Giants signed Allen Robinson. I can't believe that dude's still playing.
Isn't he just like last week? Isn't he not in the UFL? Like, is this not a thing?
Cardinals signed Zay Jones. That one is actually interesting to me. Zay Jones in Jacksonville was like a real big boomer bust player. Now going to the Cardinals, they don't have. Coming into this year, they didn't have like much at wide receiver. They had Michael Wilson as a second-year hopeful. Greg Dortch, like they just don't seem to trust. They traded away Rondale Moore. Marquise Brown was gone. So they drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., but Zay Jones might be the 2. So, and he's a deep threat. Kyler can throw the ball. I mean, he can't see over the offensive line at all, but he can throw the ball.
Figure out how to get around it.
Yeah. And then one more mediocre wide receiver signing that just made me laugh so hard. Marquez Valdez-Scantling going to the Bills. Like, the
Bills just like, we're going to get rid of Diggs and then just like, we're going to mine the scrap heap just so we have enough wide receivers to put on the field, and we're going to let Josh Allen run the ball and do everything or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like the Bills lost to the Chiefs, so they said, "Oh, MVS was let loose. We need him because he was on the
Yeah.
Chiefs."
Diggs dropped the deep ball. We lost, so let's get a guy who also drops deep balls, and we'll just slot him in, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah. Jared Goff, boy, got paid all the cash monies.
Yeah.
4 years, $212 million extension. So that's $53 million a year for Goff. That is like, I figured they'd re-sign him, but I thought it'd be in like low to mid 40s, maybe. And 170 of that's guaranteed. So I mean, they're not dropping him for at least 3 years. Like, Goff is a solid starter there now.
That's the second highest AAV of any quarterback contract, right? Isn't he like the second highest paid quarterback in the year now?
Something like
in the league now. Yeah, he's like $2 million behind. Yeah.
Like Hurts, Burrow, Herbert, Lamar, all of them were just over 50. I can't remember exactly. So
there's one, I forget, somebody's at 55 and Goff's at 53, and it's like, holy shit, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They put him up there. So I guess the Lions had their quarterback for a few years, and I don't remember who drafted Hendon Hooker, but you can give up hope on him.
Yeah.
Other NFL news, just have to mention the Tom Brady roast. If you didn't watch it, it had its moments of being entertaining. Like when Brady came out and said, the NFL spent $20 million on an investigation to find out that I probably knew about the uninflated balls. If you'd given me $20 million, I would have just told you it happened. But he also came out like a day ago to say that he regrets doing it because of the impact it has on his family, and he didn't realize signing up for a roast would mean everyone in his life got roasted.
Well, and then it's funny that Tom Brady making decisions about his career and not thinking about the impact on his kids. Interesting.
Right?
Interesting.
That was the
I like that.
That was part of the whole thing. Was like, hey,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you're divorced because you have the impact that you made and wanted to continue to play football.
Yeah. So no sympathy.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. Like I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Like watching TV. The Aaron Hernandez, like it was. I'm glad it was open.
When they said something about like
Julian Edelman,
yeah,
he's hung. He's hung. Yeah, I loved it. Like
then there was that great line where somebody said something about Tom Brady losing all the money from crypto, and even Gronk was like, "Tom, that's not real money."
Man, yeah,
that was good.
Bill Belichick coming out, like I haven't seen him smile ever.
Never.
Although I was waiting for either him or Kraft, one of them, to stab each other. So
apparently they had in the after party or somewhere in the green room somewhere, like Kraft had walked into Edelman, Gronk, and Belichick all talking, and it was like tense for a moment, but they had like a 10-minute conversation, and everything seemed to be cool afterwards. So, whatever.
I still hate that.
They both like get massages from young girls, so it is.
That was the one thing that Brady came up and was like, "Hey, that's off limits. Don't talk about that anymore."
Yeah.
Like,
hey,
come on.
Jeff Ralphs was like, "All right, cool, whatever you say, Mr. Brady."
Yeah. So NFL schedule got released like an hour ago. I haven't had time to look over it, so go check it out. It's exciting. But the one crazy thing I have heard is in order to watch like all of the games this year, you're going to have access to NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, NFL Network, ESPN, Peacock, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and then if you want to watch Hard Knocks, you also need Max. Some stuff I'm not clear on what you need, but some stuff also may be on ESPN Plus. And then if you want to get out of
one of the European games, yeah.
And then you can also look at Sunday Ticket. It's like, holy crap. That is a lot of different subscriptions you got to have if you want to watch everything.
Everybody's got to get paid.
Yeah, streaming is the new cable, It's great.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. All right, I did
And then
see.
my Wi-Fi goes out and I can't watch any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. I did see though. It's Mahomes. What Chiefs Ravens first week one.
I heard
Yeah.
something about
Which
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's legit. That'll be
That's
legit.
oh, and then I think their second game is against the Bengals. The Chiefs' second game is against the Bengals, and then I know
Wow.
they're playing the 49ers at some point in the season too. Like
Wow.
I don't know what days and whatnot. I saw something about
Interesting.
there's gonna be a Harbaugh Bowl at one point.
Nice.
So that's what Chargers and Ravens. That'll be a good game.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
Not to spend more time on the schedule, but I also heard Goodell doesn't like preseason games and wants to go to
that
what are we at?
18.
We're at 17 now, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to go to
Yeah.
18, and
Yep.
that would lead into the Super Bowl, into President's Day. So
Yeah.
everybody gets the Monday off.
It's that thing we talked about it.
Did we
on
talk
this-
about?
Yeah,
we
we
talked
did.
I
about
don't
this,
remember.
and like that idea had been out there, but like Goodell came out and said it again in an
Yeah.
interview,
Yeah.
which would just be fantastic. I mean, how fantastic would it be to have the day after the Super Bowl off? Like the preseason games, they're not like nobody plays anymore. It used to be
Yeah.
like at least by the last preseason game, you got at least a half of the starters. Now it's like the starters don't even play in the preseason. It's a
No.
waste of time. So
Yeah.
screw it. Give them 18 games, give a second bye week, and get us to President's Day weekend, and life is beautiful.
That might be the only way Roger Goodell doesn't get booed at the draft anymore. If he gets everybody the Monday, if he gets everybody the Monday off after
Right?
the Super Bowl, then people
Commish
might
for
actually
life.
like him. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Enough of that. We're here today to talk about Neil. Now, everybody everybody who actually
Welcome back.
watched
All
who
four of
watched
us. Yeah,
one
yeah.
of her earlier episodes, he was on, but we weren't here to talk about him at that point. Now we're here to talk about Neil. So, Neil, who are
Hey.
you? What's your name? What's your age? Where are you from?
I'm I'm Neil Murray. I'm let's see, how old am I? I'm using math. 40, shit, what is it?
Aren't you
42? Yeah. Yeah,
something
something like, I don't know, dude. It's like it doesn't matter anymore after 40. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no. I live in yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I know you love to point out that you were like 2 years older than me because you missed the cutoff for millennial and love to tell me I was a
Did I?
millennial, but you weren't.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh,
all
wow,
the
yeah,
time.
Oh, maybe I thought that was okay. Maybe it was me. Yeah.
Oh,
Former
no, it
life.
was you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I lived in Alaska for 17 years now. Coming up on my 18th summer. Yeah. Never. I thought I moved up here thinking I'd be here 2 years, and then here I am.
Where'd you
So,
come from before that?
I'm from the Houston area, from Houston, Texas. From a
That's
shitty little town outside of Houston. So there you go.
that's two very
That's a
different climates.
huge
Hot
difference.
and
Yeah, dude.
humid
Yeah,
to
yeah.
dry and cold.
Yeah. When I first got up here, it was like mid-April, and it snowed on me. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on right now? This is ridiculous. So yeah, it's quite a different place. I'm actually outside in May, and I'm not sweating my butt off.
well, it did.
It's
Didn't it
pretty
snow
nice.
like 3 days ago?
Yeah,
I feel like I
yeah.
see snow in the background.
We're 1 inch away from the snowiest winter on record in the history of Anchorage.
Oh, nice.
Pretty sweet. Yeah, yeah. No, I hope we don't break it because that means it's going to snow in mid-May. I don't need that. That would suck.
Do you have a family?
I do. Yeah, I have 2 kids, 13 and 11. I have a 13-year-old daughter, so pray for me. And yeah. Oh, yeah.
How does that go? I don't know how to do it for you people.
Shalom.
Honestly, however you want. But I'll take them all. I don't. At this point, I probably need them. So, yeah. But no, I don't.
Lock them in a closet.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I forgot. Daniela's 13.
Yeah.
Drew's got 10. I've got 9. Or no, Lily's
man,
not
yeah.
11 yet, right?
She'll be 11 in August.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah,
you could just
terrible.
we're right behind you, buddy.
Yeah. No, she's going into 8th grade. Like she's about to finish up 7th grade. I'm like going, how did I get so old? What happened?
Oh God,
Yeah,
that means
yeah.
one more year and she's a high schooler.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Shoot me in the face.
Oh God. Are you allowed to? Am I allowed to ask you about your job, or will you have to kill me? I can't remember.
I mean, I could probably tell you the cover story that I
Okay,
use. I
all
can
right,
probably not
perfect.
tell you the real thing. So yeah.
Okay.
No, so I'm the Air Force program manager for the Corps of Engineers here in Alaska. So all the Air Force military construction, um, my group manages. So yeah,
I
it's
could tell
pretty
by the
interesting.
glasses.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's my yeah.
Oh,
Gotta be
him and
careful. You
Steve
never
can
know.
talk about so much.
Right?
Yeah. Uh, oh, I just had a. Oh, so
I
do
work for the government now, so I have government clearance, so we could talk too.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's
you work
on
for
an
the
open forum. Well,
government?
This is just
Yeah.
secure line. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Since when do you work for the government?
I
Wait,
work for
this
you.
episode isn't about you.
I work for UCLA now, therefore I work for the government.
There you
Oh,
go. For a government. I like that. Okay.
whatever. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Neil, what's your favorite NFL team?
I knew you were gonna ask me this, and I don't know that I have. I guess I would say probably the Texans just for like nostalgia from
Yeah.
growing up an Oilers fan, and fuck the Titans for trying to be the Oilers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
And
aren't you supposed to
you
be a
know,
tight?
no, bro, no, no, screw the McNair family or whoever that. What was the guy? Oh, who's the
Yeah,
owner?
it was McNair.
Was it
McNair, yeah.
McNair's?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Screw them.
I
Yeah,
heard
I
I heard recently that like there was some college team that like basically stole the like Oilers colors, and they were like trying to sue them, and the college was
yeah,
like, yeah, whatever, we're
Oklahoma
just.
State. Yeah,
Is that who it was?
yeah. I think it was Oklahoma State. Yeah, basically they got Boone Pickens money, dude. They don't give a shit.
Hmm.
They're like, you just come at me, bro. I don't care. Um,
I
yeah,
don't know
I'd say
what you
them.
just said.
Boone Pickens. I don't know. He's an oil guy that donates a
Oh,
lot of money there. Don't worry about it.
okay.
Not that
Well,
funny.
like I asked favorite NFL team to, let people in the league know if you have like any attachment to, like, obviously people know that I might overpay slightly for a Cowboys player,
That's true.
or Raph will overplay for Bears, or Janelle overpay for Steelers.
Yeah.
So, but the
No,
Texans definitely look
I don't.
good this year.
Yeah, no, dude, that was a pleasant surprise. So that was pretty fun. So I'm probably like a bandwagoner because I didn't claim them when they were really terrible, but now at least they're good. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, the Texans, that's cool. Whatever. Between them and probably like I wouldn't say the Seahawks are one of my favorites, but at least I can watch them because they're usually on NB. They're on Fox most weeks up here. That's the problem with living up here is like I'm beholden to the national games because I don't
Yeah.
have my local market team would be the Seahawks because of just that's how the media rights work. So that's kind of the one thing that's weird about here is that there isn't a local like quote quote local team
Oh,
other than
there's
like we get the Seattle teams if they're
yeah,
on, but then I'm beholden to whoever like the biggest game of the week generally is who I'm getting, like the
yeah,
national one, unless it's like for you, you'd get Denver, but if
yeah.
there's like if that's just a local one, then I might get whoever else.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
I went from Alaska to Oregon. Obviously, neither had a team, but they were all like considered extensions of the Pacific Northwest. So in both places, I kept getting freaking Seahawks games. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to watch this.
Yeah. I don't mind it when it's a good game, but like when at least they're decent, but like I don't want to watch them play somebody terrible or like, oh, there's another game on. Like, oh, I guess I'm not going to watch that. I'll just watch Seattle again.
But if you get, Peacock, the NFL Network, you get
Yeah.
ESPN Plus, you'll
Yeah.
be able to watch anything you want.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I'll watch the Nickelodeon broadcast of
There
one
you
of them
go.
too.
There you
And
go.
he gets slimed.
You can
It'll be
watch
good.
Eli and
Yeah.
Peyton.
I do though. I am not gonna lie.
It's
I'm a
actually real
Manicast
fun.
fan. Yeah. And I'm not Bill Belichick's gonna be a recurring guest on the Manicast, which actually could be really good. I think that could be interesting.
All right.
So I don't know, but I'm a Manicast fan. I'll turn that on. I do love me some Joe Buck and Troy Aikman though. So it's a toss up between those two.
I heard, sorry, this is a side note. I heard Tom Brady will be
Yeah.
on Fox this year, and his first game, you're welcome, Aaron, it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys
Cowboys
and
and
Browns.
Browns. Yeah, he gets to call Deshaun Watson. That'll be fun.
I was just trying to look up your all-time record in the league, but I forgot you took over after year one, right? So it
Yeah, yeah. I
shows
took over
your
a team, yeah.
So it shows your overall record as 41 and 43, but that's 3 seasons worth, so I'd have to go calculate it, and I didn't do it, so I'm not going to do it right now.
It's probably not much different. I'm trying to think. Like,
I can't remember how good his or bad his team
Who
was.
do you
the
take
first
over
year.
for?
JC.
yeah.
So
This year, oh yeah, no, this year I was like trying to think. This year I did pretty well, and was a couple quarterback injuries away from making and stupid decisions away from making the championship.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I remember you
I
had a
started
couple of
Jaron
like.
Hall in that freaking Vikings game, and he like got negative points.
I remember
And
that.
but what's his name from Sam Howell scored like 9, and that would have won it for me. Like
Yep.
that's how bad I did. Was a quarterback scoring 9 points would have been a
Was
freaking upgrade. Dude, it was so bad. I was so mad. I've never been so mad during Monday Night Football in my life. That's like, oh my God.
oh, but you did finish in 4th, so that's not
Yeah.
bad.
One out of the money though. I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to make some money, baby. Just get
Yeah.
my quarterback. He'll get 10 points. That's easy. No.
Yeah.
Right? You would think. You would think.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
So why don't you explain your team name if you even remember your team name at the
I don't.
point?
Well,
It's still
Did I
broke.
Bro, Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
I mean, that
I
one
just
doesn't need a whole lot of explanation.
no. Honestly, that's one of like I actually thought of that off the top of my head. I'm sure it's like a commonplace name, but I
Mhm.
actually thought of that one. I didn't have to look it up.
Oh,
Is it while you were watching the movie, or?
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite movies. So come on, that one's pretty easy. Yeah. No, my redraft name is Titties and Beer, and I was trying to remember which one was which. So yeah, but with parentheses, I did it graphically for you visual learners.
how long have you been playing fantasy? You played before we met, I think, right? Or didn't you?
Yeah, I was in a couple leagues before because I think I joined your redraft league, and I'd done it a few times before then, but I was never super into it. I don't think before then.
Do you like
I
redraft or dynasty better?
mean, it depends on what team's doing better. So I can still like. I feel like I've been doing this a couple years, so I should probably quit claiming that I took over somebody else's team at this point. Like I could always blame it on that other person sucked. I'm just scrambling, but no, I like Dynasty because it makes me think about it a lot more. And it like redraft, I feel like you have a decent draft, and then if you do, you can just scour the waiver wire and do okay. And it's not, but Dynasty's a little bit more in depth and interesting.
There's not a whole lot of waiver wire happening in Dynasty, which
I've never had a good one. I think unless
there's a lot of it, but none of it pans out.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
You can go spend like half your fab on Amari DiMarcado.
I think
go get Eno Benjamin. Everybody's like, "Oh, that dude's gonna blow up," and then nothing.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's a gamble.
Yeah, no, it's fun. That's what makes it fun, though.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you have any hobbies?
I have children, so there's that. And no, I play softball in the summertime, and then I watch a lot of football in the wintertime. Kind of what I do. So
I still find it ironic that like the place I lived where I golfed the most was with you in Alaska.
That's
somehow
true, yeah.
like I lived in California where we could golf all year long, and I didn't golf anywhere close to as much as I did when I lived in Alaska.
Yeah. Up here we golf like 4 months a year, maybe, and then that's pretty much it.
Well, I think you know that, and so you try to pack it all into. If you had to say over the year, like we used to golf, what once a month?
Neil and I used to like have like a standing almost every weekend. We had the first tee time at the local course because like we could get out and we'd be, it was usually, what was it, right around 6 a.m. So we could be done with a round by about 10, and our families like weren't even awake and we were done with a round.
Because it wasn't like, oh, we could do it next month because next month it's going to be 30 feet of snow. Like, no, you had to pack it in.
Well, hence why I'm outside right now. Like, it's a beautiful day, as you can see, and I'm like, I'm not going to be inside today because tomorrow it could rain, and then like last summer it rained, the most it's ever rained in the summer. So it's like you take advantage of all the days you got. So that's why we golfed.
Like everybody talks about how like, you survived the Alaskan winters for the beautiful Alaskan summers. A, it rains a lot more than you expect, and B, the mosquitoes are freaking horrible.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
Like,
surprised I'm not getting destroyed right now. Yeah.
legitimately, when I moved to Oregon, I felt like I would get mosquito bites, and they always used to itch really bad for me. But like when I moved from Alaska to Oregon, I get a mosquito bite, I'd be like, these wussy mosquitoes. I've been dealing with
It's like, oh,
I've been
try
dealing
it.
with the
Hippie
Alaska.
mosquitoes.
I've been
Yeah.
dealing with the Alaska state bird for a couple of years. These
Yeah.
things don't do anything to me anymore.
Yeah. No, that's no
Wow.
joke. Or what was it, your last summer here? It was like it hit 90. So
Oh,
there was
dude,
that too.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
2 weeks before we moved out.
That's
And
crazy.
the entire time we lived in Alaska for 5.5 years, it had never hit 80 degrees. And
Yeah.
then 2 weeks before we moved out, it got to 90 for a couple of days. And you got to
Yeah.
remember, Alaska summer means there's 22 or whatever hours of sunlight at 90 degrees, with most people not having air conditioning.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
It would be hotter in my house at night than it was outside.
Yeah,
Like
like
I'm sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. Because
we'd
I'm
open
used to
up
and
the
that.
we'd open up the windows, like, because our house was not far from the water, we could like normally open the windows and get like a breeze through the house, so it wasn't bad. We like literally
yeah.
had people be like, "Do you guys have air conditioning?" We're like, no, no, just we get a good breeze. When it was 90, did not matter
No,
whatsoever.
no, it doesn't.
All right, back to Neil though. Neil, what did you want when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grow up?
Um, Probably an astronaut, something cool like that. Probably I went to NASA a few times when I was a kid and space camp. So yeah, probably that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
You're a big college football fan.
Yeah.
Do you still prefer college over the pros despite fantasy and whatever?
Uh, Probably, but I think fantasy's brought me more. I'm a football fan in general,
Yep.
and I would say that yeah, I follow college football a little bit deeper, but um, fantasy's kind of brought me more into the NFL than I've been, especially dynasty, because
What
redraft, it's like you draft and it's fine, like I spend a little bit of time looking at the waivers and whatever, but like dynasties maybe get into it a little bit more
what
than I used to.
what makes you prefer college over the pros in
I don't
general?
know. I've just always been a fan that way.
I just always
I
wondered.
really couldn't. I can't really put a reason behind it, other than that's just kind of how it's always been.
Do you think that that gives you an advantage in Dynasty, knowing a little bit more in depth? Because there's so many college players, and like you'll see, like, oh, that guy all of a sudden gets into an injury, and that wide receiver gets into the wide receiver three, and you're like, ooh, I'll pick him up, or like, do you see the advantage there?
Maybe I don't know. I probably used to be a bigger, but now with there's so many places to go on the internet to find
Yeah.
all that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but um,
That actually
I
I
would
reminds me of a
mean,
question.
hold that in your back
yeah,
pocket, because like for sure, like
yeah,
there's guys I'm just like, oh, I don't even like, I couldn't tell you anything, but you
yeah,
could
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
oh, he at least one season you could talk about, like, oh, he did this and this.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
What
for
yeah.
sure.
Well, because I don't watch a lot of college, and I haven't until we started playing more Dynasty and I started paying attention to the draft more. I don't I don't think we have time for you to explain it. This whole transfer portal thing, where like players are moving around all the damn time now, like, is that taking
Yeah.
any of the luster out of college football?
You know, I've always been a proponent of the players getting paid
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's a billion-dollar interest industry, and the
Mhm.
fact that they're just basically slave labor because they get a college degree, like
Yep.
screw that. It can. I just don't think too deeply about it,
Like
because it's like it's a flawed system, but it's the system we have.
Like
So it's
NIL is a different story, right? At least now some of these guys are getting money for that, and I appreciate that. But like, it's just
A
all the
lot of money.
yeah, it's all the transferring that I don't get. And now it's like if you don't get
yeah,
playing time, you just enter the transfer portal, and then anybody can pick you up. Is that what it's like? Free
yeah.
agency, basically?
Basically, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's used to be long time ago. You'd have to sit out a year if you transfer,
Right.
and then they got rid of that. Then you could
And
start
you
right
had
away.
to get like a letter from your coach saying it was okay that you got
Yeah,
released from your scholarship because
Mm.
they put
yeah,
so much into you for the scholarship. But now it's
Right.
just
yeah.
like, hopefully we get this guy for X amount of years.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of litigation right now.
Hmm.
There's an antitrust lawsuit and then there's some congressional stuff going on. So I think it'll be really interesting over the next few years to see where that ends up because,
Hmm.
it's a flawed system, and I think everybody would admit to that. But it like at the same time, like right now, it kind of is what it is. It's where it is.
They're
I
trying.
mean,
Do
yeah,
you like that they have playoffs and now aren't they expanding it to like 12 teams instead of four or
yeah, it's
some
12
craziness?
teams. Yeah, it's 12, which I think it's better than I think I would have gone with 8 personally because I think any beyond that, it's just like explaining playoff in the NFL. I think
It's a big drop
or
off.
it also it's reinforces mediocrity. Like I don't have
Yeah.
to be the best. I just got to get in.
Yeah.
And maybe more so in the NFL where you can just sell it like, hey, we've been a playoff team. Hey, nobody knows. Like the Steelers, great, you've been a playoff team, you've been above 500, but like, what have you done with it? For how long? So
Well,
it's one of those where it's like, yeah, it just
We're the
reinforces
Cowboys.
I was
We're the
mediocrity.
about to say,
Cowboys.
sounds like the Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah, same thing.
We'll get there every year,
12,
but we're gonna not
12
gonna
and
do anything
5
with it.
doesn't mean anything if you don't win in the
Well, and
playoffs.
yeah, that's true. But it's like, okay, well, I can get in at 9-8. So why do I have to
Yeah.
strive to be a
Right.
13-win team? When I can get in with 9 or 10 wins? It's kind of the same thing.
All right. So Drew likes this question for our league. Uh, Besides me, who do you want to beat in the league more than anyone?
Do you have somebody
Uh,
that you mark on the calendar or that over the course of the last few years that you've been playing, like, hey, I look forward to that manager because he's beat me twice or 3 times or blah blah blah, whatever it is. Like, is there somebody that is like that you're becoming a rival with personally?
no, I don't know. I don't really know everybody that well, so I don't know if I have got anybody that like sticks out.
Yeah,
Um,
we were
other
talking
than
about
other
it
than
before we started recording, and unfortunately, like the two guys that you knew well left recently.
yeah, yeah, it probably would have been Vernon, but maybe Joe because of his garbage trade offers at the time. So,
Exact
uh,
something.
maybe that. I don't know.
Oh, I
Uh,
love it. Uh,
no, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But, like, there's not really. I mean, I just whoever I lost to, and I can't remember who it is to get out of the money last year. They're going to be my new rival. Will be that.
I can check and tell you.
I forget. Yeah, I know. I don't. I think I
I
blocked it mentally out of my mind.
I think it was Steve, if I'm looking correctly.
It might have been. I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
When I look at that question, like I think of like the teams, the games that I think I said this last week on the podcast, like the teams that when I'm supposed to win, like and I lose,
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
what irritates me.
Oh yeah. 100%. Absolutely. I have a lot of those where I'm projected to be whatever, and I drop an 80.
Especially when it's
Happen.
like 120 to 90, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I scored like you said 80 points, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
all
great.
right, yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah.
I'm a bad manager.
All right,
Joe
Neil.
Burrow blew up his knee again. Great. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's a tough question you got to answer off the top of your head. What title would you give your autobiography?
Oh, good Lord.
I like beer and smoked meat. No.
Yeah, I would. That's something along those lines. Yeah. 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 Hold my beer while I smoke this meat. I don't know. That's something like that. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Oh,
wait
wait
a
a
second.
second.
Hey,
Yeah, well, you gotta sell titles. You gotta sell books. So we're moving
hey,
units here. We gotta make it exciting.
controversy sells.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There you go. Yeah.
Uh, I that that's all I got. What do you got, Drew? Anything else you thought of you want to ask
No,
Neil?
I just appreciate you coming on
Yeah,
and
man. This is
helping us
fun.
out, supporting us,
Yeah.
supporting the league. That's what this is all about. It's all about the slow smoked pigskins.
What do you anything you want to tell the league, Neil? Anything that they should know about you or
What's your
that we
prediction?
didn't
What's your
ask?
prediction for this year?
Um,
NFL or
No, the
league?
league. The league.
Oh, you don't need a prediction. You know that baby's staying right there.
No.
That is
Yeah,
not
no,
happening.
no.
Did you see the new running back I got?
The bullshit trade, you mean? Sorry.
We're all just waiting for you to pick up Zeke somehow. And I'm just waiting for the trade offer.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Did you hear last week's episode by any chance yet? No.
Yeah, he's getting his dead contract's worth more than his new contract with.
Well, yeah,
Dallas.
but
I love it.
At one point, we were talking.
Doesn't need to perform, dude.
It's true. Yeah.
At one point, we were talking about the fact that he's on your team now, I believe, and considering my trade history with you after we analyzed all the trades in a previous episode, and every time I trade with you, it goes very poorly for me. Zeke is not coming to my team.
Didn't I trade Nick Chubb to you? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Didn't I do that? And then he tore his ACL like 10
I'll
minutes later.
give it to week 6, and Zeke will be on Aaron's team.
100%. He'll come crawling. It'll work.
Give you
Brees Hall, ACL or Achilles, week 2.
That's not funny. That's not cool.
It's hilarious, okay?
That's not nice.
Say what you wanted on my team. I don't care.
You're mean people. Mean people.
I think there's about a minute left.
Yeah, we got a minute left. What else you want to say, Neil? Anything?
Oh no, that's it. I'm coming. Maybe I'll make the money this year. I'm gonna like not make as many stupid mistakes as I did last year. How's that? I'll make it too easy.
I've been telling myself that since I started playing fantasy 15 years ago. Yeah,
I've been telling myself that since puberty. So here we are.
Neil, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I used your old saying of the proudest day of my life was when I turned 13 and stopped maturing. That's a Neil for you.
Still is, yeah. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for joining, especially on short notice. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, y'all. Everybody who's listening, don't forget to like and subscribe and make us famous YouTubers so our children actually respect us at some point.
That would be good.
Good night, everybody.
Right.
See you later.
Bye.